Yo, welcome back to Yo Nerd Podcast, the podcast where we talk about nerd culture news, share opinions, and debate on pretty much anything. I'm Jase.
I'm Zion.
I'm Noah.
All right, today we are going back to the MCU corner, and we're talking about characters that we want to see reintroduced into the MCU, maybe some characters that we want to see in a standalone project, things like that. And right now, if you guys are watching on YouTube, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. If you're watching us on, or if you're listening to us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, make sure to leave a 5-star review for us. It would really help us out. But without further ado, let's get right into it.
All right, so how this is going to work is each of us are going to present two picks. There's a lot of characters in, especially this last phase of the MCU, that have just kind of been forgotten about. They've been left kind of doing their own thing. We haven't seen them in forever. And so we're going to bring up a character that we would like to see show up in one of their confirmed projects coming up, and then a character that we believe deserves their own standalone thing. But these are, again, only characters that are established in the MCU. So just as a reminder, here's a quick look ahead at Marvel's plans. We have Captain America Brave New World, Daredevil Born Again, Thunderbolts, Ironheart, Fantastic Four, Wonder Man. Then we have the two Avengers films, Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars, and we have Spider-Man 4. Now, those are all confirmed for rumors, and Armor Wars is kind of confirmed as well, but we have the Armor Wars TV show, a Vision series, RIP to Blade, but we're still including it in here. We have Shang-Chi 2, Doctor Strange 3, and Black Panther 3. All right, so first we're going to do a character that we want to show up in one of the projects we just talked about. So, Noah, you want to start us off?
Jase got this. He can start
Okay,
off.
go ahead, Jase.
All right. Okay. So the character that I would like to see come back, I know he just said in those movies, but Doctor Strange 3 is rumored to be happening. I personally would want to see Wanda Maximoff come back for a few reasons. One, because I feel like the way that they did her in Doctor Strange 2 was way too easy. Like, there's no way she should have just, like, there's no way she's just gone. Because you see, if you remember that movie, for those of you who enjoyed it and watched it more than one time, this building kind of collapses on her, and there's like this big burst of red energy and speculation that she died or she's gone. And I'm just like, there's no way, because she was taking over. That she was, she's obviously more powerful than Steven, right? Like, we can agree on that.
Yeah.
Okay, she's more powerful than Doctor Strange. And Doctor Strange pretty much just talked her out of being evil. It was one of those things where it was like, hey, don't do that. This is bad. And she's like, you're right. And then she just sacrifices herself. I don't want to see that. Like, I want to see a Scarlet Witch that's fully realized and powerful. And I don't know, maybe see her come back in some sort of way like that. But
yeah, bring Wanda back as honestly one of the most crucial elements in this saga. Like, she's one of the characters that's been done dirty so many times, especially with how they handled her in Doctor Strange 2. WandaVision set up her character in a beautiful way, and they kind of fumbled the bag with that one. So yeah, that's a great pick. Bring Wanda back. Do her right this time.
Ain't no way you're getting beat by America. Don't let me get started. Don't let me get started.
Hey, this is a safe space.
Nah, I can't. I'll get like, Just, we're gonna move on for the safety of our podcast. We're spreading positivity here, guys. So we're just gonna move on.
All right, Noah, who's your pick?
All right, this one's low-key shaky in every way, because this. All right, hold on. Hear me out. I get that he just had one of the greatest finales in the history of finales, and he's a perfect character right now, and we probably shouldn't touch him.
If you say Thor, I'm leaving.
No, but I want Loki to come back at least one more time.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And I need him to come back in one of the Avengers.
Given.
Yeah. But,
yeah.
And I need him, tell me if you like this, to basically be the one that kind of like bridges the multiverse and gets the teams together.
That would be
Like,
hard.
what
That
if
would
he's
go
the one that
hard.
like gets Fantastic Four and the X-Men introduced by like
Oh,
he sees Doctor Doom's too much for just like the Avengers and is like, nah, y'all need help, and he starts like bringing the universe together.
is he?
Bro,
Obviously a multiversal
yeah,
being at this
dude,
point, right?
he's actually way too powerful.
Yeah,
Oh
there's
yeah.
so many of. I feel like they've introduced so many multiversal beings. Like even
Yeah.
the Watcher, he's just chilling. Who knows what he's
Yeah.
doing?
I wouldn't know because I didn't watch What If season 3.
I didn't watch it either. Hey, if you guys watched What If season 3, can you tell us if he's
Props to you.
interfered in any way? Because I know, was it season 1 where he wanted to?
No, that's all he does is interview.
That's all he does every episode, bro.
like
Every season is just
Bro's-
like, oh my gosh.
yeah, bro is literally called the Watcher, and he actively does not watch. He does.
Every time. Every time. Oh man, yeah, that was wild. Okay, bringing Loki back.
Yeah, I'm down for that.
Absolutely. I think he's going to be crucial in the next Avengers movies. But yeah, that's dope. I'm going to bring it back down just a little bit to the earth level, more street level almost. I would like to see Werewolf by Night, and I'm a slide in, I'm a sneak in Man-Thing in there. I would like to see them appear in either Doctor Strange 3 or, if they can get it, the Blade movie. That would make the most sense. If they can ever do Blade, I would love to see them do that. My my list today is gonna kind of be centered around that corner of the universe, but I feel like Marvel has a lot to explore in like some of their supernatural realm that they haven't touched yet.
Mhm.
So I'd love to see Werewolf by Night. I'd love to see Man-Thing, and I actually think Man-Thing would be good in this phase of Marvel because Noah, remind me, Man-Thing is like the guardian of the nexus of reality or something like that, like some multiversal. Yeah, there's something involved with Man-Thing and the multiverse. And so I'm like, okay, they probably have some kind of plan with him in this phase. I hope so. But whether they do or not, I think they need to start carving out a little more of that realm of like monsters and things like that. Bring in Werewolf. You already have Elsa Bloodstone, Man-Thing. And then, get Blade in there. Get Ghost Rider, start to build out that world. But I love what Michael Giacchino did with the Werewolf by Night special presentation. So I'd love to see them revisit that corner.
Shout out Mike. He's amazing. That boy Michael.
Absolute GOAT.
Yeah, he's a legend.
Yeah.
And yeah, Man-Thing does guard the nexus of all realities. So
there you go.
Yeah.
I don't know what he was doing in that short,
bro.
But but yeah, so bring him back. All right, so for the first category here, characters who want to appear in a project coming up, we have Jay said Wanda, a Scarlet Witch appearing in Doctor Strange 3. I said bring in Werewolf by Night, smuggled in Man-Thing for Blade or Doctor Strange. And then Noah said, remind me what you said. Oh yeah, Loki in the Avengers films. So next up, we're going to share a standalone project, a character that we feel deserves another chance. So Noah, go ahead.
We're basically going to be staying in the same corner we started with. You got to expect this from the Thor super fan I am. This is a complete homer pick.
Bro, we do not need a Thor 5, bro.
Yes, we do.
No, we don't. We shouldn't even got a Thor 4.
Yes, we should have. Because Thor 3 is one of the best MCU movies of all time. And Infinity War, he was the second best character in that movie. And
then after that, you stop.
Then, exactly why we need the fifth one. They have absolutely ridiculed this character. He was at such a high, and they made him absolutely garbage in the last two things we've seen him in.
When they come out with a Thor 5 and it's worse than Thor 4, I'm gonna say I told you so.
No, there's no way.
Chris Hemsworth will literally not allow it. He said we're changing it up. He knows that last movie was not it.
Yeah,
I legit need this movie to be either rated R for violence or right next to it. I need it to be like complete 180 from the last movie. Yeah. I straight up want whatever's niece, daughter, whatever she is. Stupid concept, by the way, with the whole eternity thing, turning being like that into literally just a genie. So stupid. Anyway, I need her to get captured by someone, preferably
Okay.
Zeus or Hercules, one of those gods. And I need very basic, but I need the premise of the movie to literally be Thor going on a complete rampage. I need him to literally go through pantheons of gods. I'm talking like I want warrior Viking Thor. I want him to be going the entire movie. I need a 180 flip because the last movie he did nothing the entire film except give his power to kids. He
That
sucked.
was so bad, bro.
Horrible.
So bad.
I need to see
Great
Thor.
concepts. Not executed well. Sorry. Go, it's fine. Go ahead. Just
I need Thor to
ignore
be
me. It's
powerful
cool.
for the first time in the MCU because he's insanely weak. I need him to be like
ever
comic
since
book
he got
Thor.
fat, bro, he's never been the same.
Shut up,
Never
dude.
So essentially,
Bro.
you essentially want
I want
Kratos
Thor-
in the MCU.
Essentially, I need Thor to be serious. I need him to be, preferably, I would like him to become the king of Asgard and actually take his rightful place.
Hmm.
And then I thought I had recently, and it's a weird one. What if at some point, it would have to be in the Avengers movies, which probably wouldn't work because Thor's going to have to come out after. But I want Thor to reestablish Asgard. And I was thinking of how they're going to kill Thor. He has to get killed off because I think Chris has like 1 or 2 movies in him.
Yeah.
And I don't think he's going to die to like Doctor Doom or something. I don't think they're going to let him do that.
I hope not.
My pitch would
How's
be
he gonna die, dude? He's
no, I think they're going to kill him off.
But how? Like, how do you think it's
I
gonna
would
happen?
say the one way that makes somewhat sense is him almost not taking the place of Loki, but him like actually making the world tree and starting Asgard like around it, like reestablishing Asgard. He's done it multiple times in the comics. And if it has to be a thing where he has to give up his life for it and like his life force to actually make Asgard and Yggdrasil, I'm down for it. I think that'd be one of the only ways I'd be like, okay, I'm fine with Thor going out like that.
No, that'd be dumb.
I don't want him just dying to a villain randomly. Like,
yeah, no, that would be lame.
I don't want a Black Widow death.
Now, Noah, there's one piece that we need to make Thor one of the best movies ever. Me and Noah have been on this bandwagon for years. I don't hear people talking about it, but people need to. Noah, who needs to be in Thor 5?
Beta Ray Bill.
Beta Ray, baby.
Boom! No.
Absolute legend.
Understand. You guys don't understand. Beta is one of my favorite comic book characters of all time. And just read, it's like 5 issues. Beta Ray Bill, Argent Star by, no, who wrote it? Was it Daniel Warren Johnson?
I think so.
I think so.
I think it was.
Beta Ray Bill, Argent Star. In less than 1 issue of a comic book, you are like, I will root for this man for the rest of my life. I'm not even playing with you. Bring him in Thor 5. Give him Stormbreaker.
Yes.
Do that whole story. Set him up and some of the other Asgardians to kind of take over for Thor in his death, and you're good to go.
Yep.
I'm down.
I'd be down
you
to
don't
see
know Beta
Thor.
yet.
No, I'd be down to see Thor die that way. Like that sounds good. But I don't want another Thor movie, bro.
Bro, this
like,
hater.
I genuinely don't. I don't want one. I didn't want a 4th one because I knew it'd be bad.
But done more seriously.
I think
if you mixed Ragnarok with like a more serious tone.
Oh yeah.
Gold.
I mean, yeah.
Because I don't want it to be some like mythological epic. Like we don't need to go that far.
Right.
But have it still be Thor, have it still be fun, but add like really serious stakes and really good just writing, villain, character, all that. I think it would work. One more. We need just one more.
We can't have him leave off on Love and Thunder, bro. That's a disservice to his character, bro. That and anything or his last things.
No, bro. No, it's like when you're playing a video game, you're like, oh, we can't end on an L. We can't end on an L. And then it's like 5 hours later and you still haven't. It just keeps getting worse. Yeah, nah, bro.
My experience every day with Marvel Rivals.
Straight
That's,
up.
that's tough.
Straight up.
That's tough. Jace, what's your standalone?
All right. I had trouble thinking about this one. So Noah said Thor and Loki. I said Wanda for the first one. I'm gonna stay also in that same sort of category. I'm gonna go with Quicksilver. I think done correctly. I don't know. Honestly, I
Hmm.
would like to see. I have one of two options. I would either like to see sort of like a prequel sort of thing before like Age of Ultron, like when he first got his
Mm.
powers, like that
Interesting.
version. I'm not talking about Ralph Boner. Get that guy. Get that guy out of here.
I was gonna say,
No.
which Quicksilver are we talking about
No, no,
here?
no, no, no. We're talking about Quicksilver from Age of Ultron.
Okay.
Because first of all, he died way too quick.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, that was sad. But I also want to see, because obviously we got to see Wanda develop her powers. We got to see her backstory of how she got them, all that. I want to see that with Quicksilver too. I want to see when he first got his powers, how he handled it. Because I know, what movie is it? X-Men, where he was like stealing stuff or whatever, and just was like, being a kid with, powers. I would like to
Yeah.
see that as an MCU version done a little bit differently. um Either that, or maybe in a movie where some sort of multiversal event happens and not Ralph Boner, the other guy, comes back somehow. I mean, it'd have to be
Yeah.
done right. I can't
Yeah.
really explain because whatever, but he comes back and either he realizes his sister is the Scarlet Witch, how he's dealing with that, something like that. So
Yeah.
one of
Yeah.
those two
Would
options.
you be down for Scarlet
I got
Witch
you.
to resurrect him?
Yes, actually, I
That'd
was
be
I was
fucking
thinking that
cool.
too. I was thinking that too, like she did with Vision somehow, or sort of. If she did that with like Quicksilver, brought him back, because I mean, technically, she already did that with Ralph in WandaVision, but
Kinda.
it wasn't really like she intentionally resurrected him, and it
Yeah.
was a different version. Like she was surprised, but if she intentionally resurrected her actual brother from Age of Ultron who died, I
Yeah.
think that could also be a pretty cool concept.
Yeah. Having Quicksilver back, and now that Marvel's figured out how to do a speedster with
With
Makari and
Makari,
Eternals,
yeah,
because like Quicksilver in that movie was cool, but when you watch Makari in the fight scenes with that character in Eternals, it's different. So if they applied that same kind of style to Quicksilver,
oh yeah,
uh,
game changer.
that'd be
Yeah,
insane.
yeah.
That's dope. All right, so my standalone project, I'm gonna take you guys on a journey. It's gonna be Moon Knight season 2. Moon Knight season 1 was a mixed bag for sure. There were some great concepts. They did the character, really well. Oscar Isaac was fantastic, like phenomenal acting. I think one of the best performances that we've seen in the MCU.
Agreed.
But overall, like I feel like it was a whole series of kind of setup to Moon
Mm-hmm.
Knight.
Yeah, for sure.
We didn't actually get a lot of him like being Moon Knight. It was a lot of like just Jake or Mark and
Steven.
Steven and all that kind of stuff. And then we got Jake at the end in the credit scene. But I want to see a Moon Knight season 2 that takes inspiration from this run right here. Moon Knight by Jed McKay. Love this series. And it essentially follows Mark in New York. So Mark goes to New York and he establishes this place called the Midnight Mission. And Khonshu is in prison now. So he's Moon Knight free of like Khonshu's control. And so he's like, okay, I still want to protect people at night. He establishes the mission. And then he starts taking on vampires in New York. There's like a whole vampire network that's beginning to form in the city. And he's like, okay, I need to take these guys out. There are some absolutely cold moments in this comic book. There was one moment where he ties up some vampires a couple feet apart from each other on a stake. And then the sun rises and he's trying to get information out of them. And then the sun slowly like goes through them one by one. And they're vampires. So if they're in the sun, they
That's
like die.
insane.
They fade away. There's like tons of moments like
Nah,
that where it's
no, we
just
gotta bring it up. You know,
talk about it. Talk about it.
who is the character that he did this to? The most unspeakable acts I've ever seen in my life. It was like,
Oh,
imagine like the equivalent of like a Clayface, basically.
it's basically Marvel's
Yeah.
Clayface.
So this character can't die, and I think Moon Knight's like trying to
Can't
get
die.
information
Can't
out of him.
yeah. Doesn't need food, air, anything.
So finally, Moon Knight gets the information he wants, but because the guy's a criminal, he's like, I don't care if you did. I'm like, basically, I'm gonna do it anyway. He literally encapsulates him in like a sphere of impenetrable like
Like
substance. And basically, he puts him underneath a building that's about to be built, and is like, "You're gonna be here for eternity," because he can't kill him, and he just puts him in the ball. He literally just
no, it
imprisoned
was
this.
crazy.
Nah, dude.
Because he gets the information. He's like, listen, I will seal you underground forever if you don't give me the information. The guy's like, okay, I'm sorry. He gives him
And
what
he
he
did it
needs.
anyway.
Does it anyway.
And then like he has some people with him. Tigra is one of the characters in the book. He like goes over to the Smithy. She's like, Mark, what are you doing? He's like, something terrible.
Oh, I felt so bad.
So I think I want that level within Moon Knight, but at the same time, he's a brutal character, but there's also a lot of trauma behind it, and the book explores that. He's in therapy, he's working through all that, and you also get to see how his two other personalities actually all work together. It's a story about him like learning to accept and embrace Steven and Jake, because he's trying to just be Moon Knight for like a majority of the run. And then finally he's like, okay, I do need Jake and Steven. And Jake's like a cab driver, so he knows all the spots and the people, and he gets all the gossip from everybody. And then Steven is like a rich, guy in touch with like the elite and like getting information from them. So I just like to see something like that. And then what I talked about earlier with like Werewolf, Man Thing, Blade, use Moon Knight and these kind of projects to start building that out. Like if Moon Knight is taking on vampires or, things like that, bring in Blade, bring in other characters. And then you could even have like a mini event down the line with like all these heroes, the Midnight Suns taking on Dracula or something of that nature. So my pick would be Moon Knight. Continue to build out that character and just give him a chance again. Like it was so good, and we haven't heard a single thing about Moon Knight being in anything.
Yeah.
So I at least want him to be in something. If he's an Avenger for a little bit, if he's on another team or in another movie, like just bring him back, give it another chance, because I think the character could really work well. And it's something we don't have. We don't have a character right now as brutal as him in the MCU. Like even the Punisher is like, Moon Knight, you are absolutely insane.
Yeah.
So I want to see that.
Yeah, I'd like to see a Moon Knight season 2. I liked Moon Knight season 1. I thought it was good. Definitely in the upper half of the MCU shows. I don't know.
Yeah.
I know we did our MCU shows ranking. I don't remember exactly where I put it, but I want to say it was like 3 or
I
4.
don't remember either. Mine was lower for me, just because I had so much expectation going in, and it didn't meet those. But it's not a bad show looking back.
Yeah. How
in
would you want
retrospect.
them to do Moon Knight to get him to how he is in the comics? Because I feel like they made Steven such like, if Steven's a part of Moon Knight, he's never going to be that brutal. And I feel like Steven has too much of a hold on like Moon Knight and how they can switch.
Yeah,
so I feel like they need to do
especially in the
something.
first season. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, there were
probably-
glimpses of like, Steven towards the end of the show. He was like, "All right, Mark, like you got it." So I think he's just accepting the fact that
those are awesome.
Yeah, but I feel like Mark even doesn't want to kill people anymore.
Yeah,
he's kind of letting
true.
Steven like hold him back.
Yeah.
So like we need Jake to come in and like mix some stuff up.
I think the show was trying to set up like Jake is actually the one like you don't want to mess with.
No.
It is different from the source material, and that's one thing where I kind of struggle with that a little bit. But they took it a different direction, and that's fine. So you could do the reverse, where Jake is kind of the one that's like the really brutal one. But I think you could do it if they wanted to do this character long term, right? Have a season where you're kind of bridging the gap from where he ends in season 1 and doing something where he gets free from Khonshu, because I feel like that was another thing where it was like, Khonshu's like super messed up. So getting free from that, getting kind of like still having the powers, but and then there's even characters like Hunter's Moon, which Noah, you'll know from the comic, but like it would be dope to see Hunter's Moon in there. And I'd love to see like their take on Reese and Soldier. And I know I'm just naming people from the comic, so go read that if you don't know these people. But yeah, I'm not sure. Do you have any ideas on how they would kind of bridge that gap?
Not really, but one thing I'd want them to do is not make the changes as distinct. I feel like in the comic book, when he swaps in between his personalities, it's not like a huge thing. He kind of can go in between them like at will, and they're not that different from each other. And I feel like right now, Steven's they gotta fix Steven, bro. He's too goofy, bro. They need to make him a little more like Mark and make Mark a little more like Jake and kind of just blend them a little bit more.
Guys, please share with us in the comments who you think should come back, or somebody that you want to see that you haven't seen in a while in the MCU. We love discussion in the comments, so yeah, drop a comment, either TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, whatever. And we're just gonna head over to our Yo News next.
All right, so this week in the news, we're just covering two things. We're talking about Superman, Captain America. The red and blue is strong in this one. But people are mad. People are really mad. There's a lot of division going on. So I just wanted your guys' thoughts on the stuff going on. So a new TV spot was dropped for Superman this past week. And most of it was stuff we've already seen from the trailer. But there was a shot of Lex that was new. And then there was the clip that everyone is talking about is I'll show it on the screen right now. This clip of Superman flying. Now, people have been going off on this clip. Like, people hate it, say it looks terrible. And then a lot of people were saying just something about it looks kind of weird. The CGI isn't finished, whatever. James Gunn came out and he responded to someone on social media. He said there's absolutely zero CG in his face. People's faces can look different when you put a wide angle lens up close. The background plate in Svalbard, or however you pronounce that place, is 100% real, as is David. So James Gunn is explaining that he's really committing to as much like realism as possible. So what I think they did is they filmed the location, and then they also filmed David as Superman with probably a fan in his face flying, and then just kind of merged the two clips together. But he's saying both of them are 100% real. There's no technical CG except for the merging of the clips.
Yeah.
So you guys have seen it. What do you think about why people are hating on this, and what do you think?
I was gonna say people hate just to hate, but that's literally me like 80% of the time. But honestly, with this, I don't feel like it's that bad. I don't know what everybody's freaking out about. Honestly, I didn't even know people were hating on it until like you told me. I mean, why though? Like, why are we hating on this? It didn't look that bad, I don't think, but that's just me personally.
Noah?
Snyder fans. It's all them. It's all the Snyder fans coming out of the dirty hole they crawl out of. Disgusting. I'm tired of them. They're not real superhero fans. They're not real comic book fans. They're not real Superman fans. I saw a guy comment and he said Superman started and ended with Cavill.
That's
what
crazy.
Do you even mean?
That is insane.
They're delusional. They're
started with Cavill.
Ended. It's absurd.
Started no, not even ended. Started with Cavill. If you're the person that left that comment saying Superman started with Cavill, first of all, there's no way you're more than 8 years old. Secondly, go watch literally anything before Man of Steel. That was what year that come out? Like 2012,
13, 12,
something like that.
Nah,
they're delusional. They're hating on it. They know it's already the best film to ever be created. He's already the best Superman.
See, now they're gonna get you like that.
Already the best Superman ever. Like, come on. They're just hating just to hate because they know it's gonna be better than the DCEU, which is dead. I don't know why they keep on asking for it to come back. It's never coming back. Garbage. Every single film in there except
Speaking of the
except like two.
No, don't slander. First of all, don't slander Blue Beetle. All right,
True. My bad.
What's gonna happen with Blue
He
Beetle?
can stay.
Actually,
He can come to the DCEU
He is.
or the DCU.
He's in the
Oh,
DCU.
nice.
He's coming
Yeah.
back?
Yeah, cool.
Okay.
They're
And
making an animated project for him now.
Oh.
He got a little downgrade, which is sad.
dang,
But
no, that's actually tough.
yeah.
Dang. Oh well. And yeah, I mean, pretty much everything else you can slander. That was pretty bad.
I think if people genuinely have something to say about like it looks weird, whatever, that's fine. But at the end of the day, it's literally like a second long. Why are we doing so much for a second? You know? That's my thing. I'm like, just see the movie and that'll get in that brings us into the next topic. Captain America 4, which from the get-go has just had a super hard time.
Of course.
With fans, with
Of
haters.
course. But that's expected.
We know why.
Yeah.
We know why. But there's also been a lot of misinformation about the film, which that's not what this is about, but like people have talked about all these extensive reshoots and the budget for the film being crazy. None of it was true. They had a really actually low budget, low amount of reshoots. Like, it's just kind of sad, honestly, how much people have thrown at this movie. But Anthony Mackie was in Rome a few days ago, and he was doing, he's on the press tour right now for the movie. And he was asked, what do you think Captain America represents? And he said, Captain America represents a lot of different things. And I don't think the term America should be one of those representations. It's about a man who keeps his word, who has honor, dignity, and integrity. So, rightfully so, he says, Captain America isn't technically about America. It's about the ideals, which I think any like actual fan would be like, yeah, like even Steve Rogers was like not about the country itself. Mm-hmm. Even if we're taking the MCU, most of the time he was like a war criminal and actively defied the government.
Yeah.
Okay. It's just, but obviously with Anthony Mackie saying that, we knew it was going to happen. The internet went into an absolute frenzy. People were saying, oh, you're losing your American audience, all that. But
dude, it's not that deep. It's not. Guys, this is a fictional superhero. Like, why are we bringing politics into superhero movies, man?
I don't even know.
You're losing your American audience is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Fight me in the comments.
You have to think of the context too. He's in Rome, so to European people, he's trying to sell the movie Captain America. So of course he's gonna say it doesn't actually, it doesn't fully represent America. Like, it's about these ideals and these things. People went crazy. Then he goes on social media. He has to clarify his comments. He says, let me be clear about this. I'm a proud American, and taking on the shield of a hero like Cap is the honor of a lifetime. I have the utmost respect for those who serve and have served our country. Cap has universal characteristics that people all over the world can relate to. Share your thoughts, guys. What's going on with these fandoms? Why are people so fixated on these things?
First of all, Anthony Mackie's PR team is cooking right now. That man has been trained into the ground, because those are some bars answers. But I don't know. It's these. I'm not gonna say that. It's kind of mean. It's these basement dwellers, bro. They're hating for clicks. I don't understand. To say that you're losing your American audience is actually, it's frightening. It makes me fear for our society. I'm not even lying.
Yeah, it's brutal.
I don't even know. I think it's just a shame that he had to come out and tweet that. Like, I honestly don't think that's happening with almost any other actor in his position.
Right.
Like, if Chris Evans said that, everyone would have been like, "Oh, well said, good job."
Exactly. If Sebastian Stan said that, same thing.
Yeah. I'm glad you guys brought that up. Because I actually have a quote from Chris Evans when he was Captain America.
Oh no.
Chris Evans said this: "I'm not trying to get too lost in the American side of it. This isn't a flag-waving movie. It is red, white, and blue, but it just so happens that the character was created in America during wartime, when there was a common enemy, even though it is Captain America. I've said before in interviews, it feels more like he should be called Captain Good." You know, he was created at a time when there was this undeniable evil, and this guy was kind of created to fight that evil. If Anthony Mackie said that, it'd be over.
Recast.
It'd be raps.
Yeah. So we knew it was gonna happen, especially you have Anthony Mackie, you have a black man becoming Captain America. From the moment I saw the scene Endgame, I was like, oh, send a prayer for Mackie.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It's the right choice. He is Captain America because he's a good man, but it was an uphill battle from the start. So
Yeah.
they just need the movie to be really good.
I hope it's good. I really hope it is good.
Because we can be fair about that. If you genuinely don't like the movie and there's some problems with the movie, we're gonna be honest about that too.
Yeah,
Exactly.
sure.
Like I didn't even thoroughly really enjoy Falcon and the Winter Soldier, if I'm being honest. Captain America and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
The show. Or whatever. No, it was called Falcon and the
absolutely.
Winter Soldier.
It was Falcon, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I really didn't enjoy it that much. I enjoyed like John Walker's character and some of the things that Sam had to go through, but I didn't like the villain. They did Zemo dirty. It was just not that great of a show, in my opinion. But
yeah,
I'm hoping the movie's better.
Yeah, I really pray it is. Just we need a win in that area. So
please,
I think if we could just move forward, like just watch stuff. Like we don't have to attack everything. Just give things a chance, and then you can be honest about your criticism.
Mm-hmm.
But something like this, like if you're a true fan of these characters, respect what the actors and the directors are trying to bring. Like maybe it doesn't look the best, but James Gunn is trying to, like, I respect that he's trying to capture things in camera.
Right.
It may not look as good or as crisp as like CGI, but even that is like weird. Like I take the realism over, CG Superman flying around. Like,
right.
So
like I'd rather have that than Doctor Strange 2 CGI. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's the news for this week. Overall, just be kind. Just lighten up a little bit, go outside, do something fun. And just enjoy this stuff. If you don't like it, that's cool. But we gotta stop attacking people so much.
We should make a clip where it's like us just blatantly hating on a character, and then we put that, and then we put that.
We probably will.
We should actually do that. That'd be hilarious. Anyway,
hey, you know what? That applies to everything except for Star Wars Episode 9. Hate away. Bring all the toxicity.
Honestly, yeah.
So anyway, that's the news for this week. Next, we're gonna go to wrap up.
All right, guys. Like always, we appreciate you watching. We appreciate you interacting with us. Speaking of which, again, like and follow, like and subscribe on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, all that good stuff. And we will see you guys next week with a surprise episode.